Well, we're very excited to make our announcement on Thursday for our campaign goal. It's a particularly challenging year, our first full year without Kellogg's in our community. But community need is on the rise in many ways, and it's somewhat connected, in fact, to plant closures as one economic challenge. We definitely find that that there have been challenges based on the evolution that our economy and region has gone through as it relates to the manufacturing sector, which has historically provided incredible support to United Way, continues to provide incredible support, but of course when the plant closes, that's it for that particular plant naturally, and in terms of how they can support United Way. So we have definitely felt that. Ford, you mentioned, was at its peak a $600,000 campaign at its United Way peak. Electromotive diesel was in the $140,000 range at its peak, and Kellogg's was in that range as well. So naturally, we have to take into account that those funds aren't coming through those channels anymore. Our community continues to have higher than provincial rates of poverty. It's also not as well known as you might expect in our community. Some folks would be surprised to hear that our rates of poverty are higher than those of the province, but that's a statistically tracked, independently found fact, and our community has stemmed the tide of that through its support of places like United Way, but we definitely need to do more. Well, it became very personal with the image of the young boy, which broke many hearts, myself included. You don't have to be a parent to be heartbroken by the image, but I am a parent, and so it feels even more personal. And such things can have an effect. What we have to make sure of is that we don't lose sight of the big picture challenge that we've got before us, and that when refugees do end up in our communities, that we support the process in such a way that they can contribute and thrive the way they want to in our community, and that a cycle of poverty doesn't begin just in another country, another community. Refugee settlement is an important part of how United Way supports its community already. We make investments in programs and support initiatives which are targeted to make sure that once the refugee process has completed, and we do have refugees in our community, actually quite a high proportion of refugees relative to the rest of the province and country, that we do a terrific job of making sure that their lives can be successful, they can contribute and thrive to within their communities when they arrive. So United Way will continue to do that.